Right, hello again. Just a little update of how I'm getting on with the plane. It's virtually there now. I've made a new thumb screw because the first one I made I felt it was a little too small. So I've made another one which is slightly bigger here. So that's that. And I've also started working on the blade. And I said in a previous video that this is 6mm thick, this blade here, and what I've actually managed to do is taper it down to 4mm this end, which took some doing, but I think when it's in the plane it will handle a little bit nicer being thinner at this end. And there's the two holes for the sneck, which is coming on the top there, but I won't fix that on until after I've hardened the blade, because it's much easier to clean the blade up without this on. So there's that. There's the lever cap. Everything just needs a buff up, a final buff up. And I've yet to glue the infills in. I've just stamped my initials on there and the date, but I've yet to glue these infills in because I have fully flattened the sole now, and this mouth opening has opened up very slightly, but not as much as I was expecting it to. So what I've actually got to do is just open this mouth up a little more, and that mouth is about 1/2 millimetre wide. So what I've got, or what I've done, is I've got a needle file, and I've actually ground the teeth off of one side of it, and I've ground it down really, really thin at the tip here. And you can see that's about 1/2 millimetre at the very tip, and that just barely fits into this mouth opening. So what I've got to do is just, using the side that I've ground the teeth off of, goes towards the back of the plane, because you don't want to open the mouth backwards. Any material you need to take away wants to be on the front portion of the plane. So I'll put that in there, and I'll just very carefully file up and down like this, just to open that mouth up a bit. Now obviously this file is going to be very fragile now, so I'll have to just do that carefully, but and just very carefully file like this. But it only needs to be opened a fraction more to let the blade through, because like I say, I want to try and get this as tight as I possibly can. So that's where I'm up to with that. And then the blade, like I say, the other last thing to do is to harden this blade, and that leads me on to this. Just have to move the camera. So this is a little tin forge I've made, and it's really, really simple to make. It's just an old paint tin. Empty all the paint out and clean it up inside, and then I've just drilled and screwed 4 bolts to the underside as legs, and then there's a metal tube that goes into the side here through to the centre, and then this is just fine builder's sand and plaster of Paris, and you just mix it 1-to-1 with some water to make a paste up, and then just put a bottle in the centre, a plastic drinks bottle in the centre to act as a mould, and then just pack it full with the plaster of Paris and sand, and then that creates a little forge, and then what I've got is a map gas torch, which I'm going to put in the side here. So then hopefully I can heat treat my blade inside of here. But what I'm going to do, if I get time, I'll make a video while I do this, and go into a little bit more detail of how this works. But like I said, it's really straightforward to make, so hopefully that should work quite well. So yeah, that's what I'm up to at the moment.